Now, who says sustainability needs to be expensive?
This is the BYD Seal 5 DMI Premium. It's a compact plug-in hybrid sedan. Want to know how much? Well, this top-of-the-line variant is priced at around 1,198,000 Philippine pesos.
Not bad, huh? The way I see it, in terms of price, this is priced somewhere between a Toyota Vios and a Honda City. But in terms of size, the way I see this sedan, it looks somewhere between a Honda Civic or a Toyota Camry.
In terms of size, if you're looking for the numbers, you have a length of 4,780 millimeters with a width of 1,837 millimeters and a ground clearance of 160 millimeters. Now, if you're a first-time car buyer or just someone who needs a daily drivable car and not much into the bells and whistles, you'll like the idea of how easy it is to park this thing. But if that's not your thing, don't worry. You at least have plenty of tech to help you out.
Maneuverability? Well, it's a sedan. So if you're used to driving a pickup truck, a van, or an SUV, you might feel small in this car if you're stuck in traffic. And probably the only concern you'll have with a ride like this is ground clearance. You got to be extra careful when you take on speed humps or overly steep ramps. But then again though, that's something you do with every sedan in the first place. Now take it with a grain of salt, I am a guy who's used to driving a big car, so I do feel a little bit small driving this car. But again though, with all of the tech features that you have with a ride like this, you won't have a tough time driving this. I've had this car for the past few days, I've been stuck in traffic with it, and you know what? It was okay, no problem at all. You wanna know why? It's because of this.
The center screen. Some people like it, and some people are concerned about it. The abundance of tech might feel overwhelming at first, but trust me, after a full day with your BYD Seal 5 DMI, it's gonna be okay. It's got the usual suspects in terms of connectivity with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but the fun doesn't stop there.
Hi BYD. Please rotate my screen.
Okay, rotating the screen.
See? This is a car ready for Gen Zs. I wonder, could you actually watch an Instagram reel from here?
But regardless of how you view your tab, it is again easy to learn. The resolution is very modern and so is the response of it. Now, talking about the topic of visibility, it isn't difficult parking the sedan as you have a multi-view camera available at any moment's notice. But beyond the center screen, there's also plenty of things to enjoy with this sedan.
Alright, inside your BYD Seal 5 DMI, at the front it's fully digital, and so what you have is a center screen and as well as a driver's display, again fully digital. Now this might be disorienting if you're the type who's used to having a car that's a little bit more analog or has more buttons, but fear not. The buttons are down here or on your steering wheel, and they're all complementary to all of your clusters here. Now again, for your buttons here in the middle, everything you need is here to activate your adjustable drive modes, your EV or HEV mode, all of that is going to be here. And as well as your ignition, your gear shift, and your hazards. Now initially, if you're like me, this might feel a little bit disorienting. I was more used to having the starter button here in the dashboard and as well as the hazards, but again, that's me, that's driver habits. But I like how ergonomic it all is. You know, your gear shift is right beside everything else, and so it's all easy reach, it's all easily accessible. I like that the volume knob is on the right side here for the passenger's convenience, but if you're driving alone, again, it's nice to maximize your spokes, the buttons you have here on the left and on the right side, for better efficiency and also to be able to make driving just a whole lot easier. Now, beyond efficiency, what I also like about this car is elegance. Now, in terms of elegance, I really like the seats that you have in this car. Now, some folks, they might call this particular color madumihin, or it gets dirty quickly. But the way I see it though, with proper maintenance and good driving habits and good ownership habits rather, this car can really look good and timeless through the years. Now for the back of this BYD Seal, as you can see, it's also shark friendly. Alright, now with me and Bruce here in the back, as you can see, there's a good amount of knee room and there's a good amount of headroom here, so you could really get comfortable here in the back of this BYD Seal 5 DMI. Again, my preferred driving position, and it's pretty comfortable here. With that though, I also like that the sloping roofline does give you more headroom, and there's also that extra window there to give you more natural light inside. It complements the colors of your seats, so it feels pretty light and cozy here in the back. I also like that in the middle you have your 2 air vents and 2 USB ports down below, and you have your center armrest giving you more options to get comfortable in the back of this car. Comfort options, really long drives with this sedan, you're going to be okay whether you're the driver or whether you're the passenger. And again, when you compare this ride to its contemporaries, it begs the question, how much is this ride again?
For the Seal 5 DMI, this is what this ride looks like from the outside. Beginning with the color, this is what BYD calls quartz blue. The front grille gives a modern look to this ride. And take a good look at how the chrome matches the overall look of the front grille. This gives the ride a sharp look, and when you look at the lights, it's LED with sequential turn signals.
Now there's one little detail I like about the front bumper of this car. It's these three little holes down below. What are they? Aside from them being complementary to the overall design element of this ride, it also adds aerodynamics and it also lessens drag coefficiency for this ride. Now let's talk about what the side looks like. The side profile has plenty of sleek curves here to complement the overall aerodynamic look of this sedan. Now I also like the wheels here. The wheels have a nice and premium and elegant look to this ride while giving it a sporty vibe for this ride. And speaking of sporty, put this thing on sport mode. Different story, a lot of fun. But before anything else though, one more detail I like with this ride is what's here in the back. This particular panel here, now when you look at this panel from a driver's point of view, on the right side, it gives you better visibility, especially when you're merging lanes. But as a passenger, you'll enjoy this little detail here because the added glass here gives you more natural lighting when you're inside your ride. Now, I'm no engineer, but I also like this particular sloping roofline effect here, right? It gives a more sporty look for this ride, and when you look at the sedan from far away for this particular angle, it looks a lot like a fastback. Okay, so this is what the back looks like for the BYD Seal 5 DMI. As you can see, for the back, the design complements what you have at the front. Now, in terms of design, you have an LED light that goes through the entire width of the car. With that, it complements the overall minimalist look that you have in terms of the badging and the overall look for this ride. And you'll notice that if you look down below, there is a muffler, but it's properly hidden underneath the rear bumper. Remember, there is a muffler because there's still an internal combustion engine for this ride, sort of like a backup to your EV motor. Remember, DMI stands for dual motor. Now, this is how you open the rear. Open the rear, and this is the kind of cargo capacity that you have for this ride. There's enough space for 2 coolers, your battery charger here in the back, and as well as a couple of backpacks and a floor box with things in it, of course. And there's also space for a shark. This is Bruce, everyone. Say hi to Bruce. Remember, fish are friends, not food.
Speaking of food, this is what powers the BYD Seal 5 DMI. DMI stands for Dual Mode Intelligent, and that means that there are 2 engines running this car all at once, an electric motor and an internal combustion engine. This mainly relies on the electric motor and a large capacity battery which powers the car overall. But yet, there's still an internal combustion engine which plays a secondary role. With that, you have a front-wheel drive sedan that's all powered by what BYD calls the BYD Super DMI. All of this matched to give you 197 PS of horsepower and 325 Newton meters of torque, matched as well with a 1.5-liter high-efficiency generator. So, what happens here? Well, you end up with an acceleration time of 0 to 100 kilometers per hour at 7.3 seconds with a top speed of 185 kilometers per hour. Numbers that are pretty impressive for this class and category. But do you really want to know why people get a BYD? It's for the combined range of 1,240 kilometers that you get with a full tank and a full charge. So what's it like to drive? Come on, buckle up, let's go.
Now, if you're a purist, this might be something difficult for you to wrap your head around. If you're used to having a V8 shouting at you or hearing something clunking, there's none of that in this ride. But if you need a car that you can daily drive, you really need to consider the BYD Seal 5 DMI. Worried about performance? Well, no need to be. Put it on sport mode, and you're in for a surprise. But what I like the most about this car though are these 2 buttons down below. These 2 buttons is your EV and HEV mode. That's how you can see your dual motor really come into place here. You're able to get the best sustainability possible for a ride like this. And really come to think of it, this car with a combined range of way above 1,000 kilometers really proves to show that this ride isn't just stylish, isn't just